In this lesson, let's understand together the this keyword in JavaScript. In JavaScript, this keyword refers to the object that is calling the function. Let's take a look at a practical example of how this keyword works in JavaScript. So here's my boilerplate code, and I will move into the script tag to add some script code. So let's say I have an object, and let's say the object name is person. So inside this person name, I have first name John. I want to take this part out. I have last name Joe, and I have the ID. Now inside it, and I have a function named my function. Now, and this happens to be the function. I'll return this. Now, if I come down outside the objects, I can display data for the object and do document.get element by ID inner HTML. Of course, this is my function. Now you can see on the right hand side, so you can see that the output will say this is object. Now, why is this shown? Number one, JavaScript treats objects like a string. In order to get real value, there are two ways. So you either use a .property method or JSON stringify in order to convert this into a real value. But in this lesson, we are actually not after how to change objects into the real value like John or Doe. Instead, we are after how this keyword, how it works in JavaScript. And this is this keyword that we are talking about, which happens to be inside of this function. So what is this? When this keyword is used in a function, it refers to an object. What we have here refers to this person's object. Now, which object is not usually decided when the function is written, and the value is only decided when the function is called. As you can see here, that only when we call this function is when we are getting this is object, which is to tell us that the value of this is decided only when the function is called. Now, here we have a function as object method, and that's because all JavaScript functions are object methods. A function can be a method of a JavaScript object or a method of the global object. This keyword is an object method. So when a function is an object method, this refers to the object that owns the method, which means that this keyword refers to this person object that owns the method that we have inside of it. Now, this keyword refers to the person object, and then if I have something like this, let's say something like this dot first name. So now this is going to return the first name, which happens to be the first name property of the person. And if I do the same for last name, it is going to do the same thing. Now, this dot first name that you can see here is the same as person dot first name. So what you have here is the same as if I have something like this, person dot first name. So because this refers to the object itself, that is why if you use the object directly or you use this dot first name, then it will work. Now let's look at this keyword in the concept of a function. Now, by default, when this keyword is used in regular functions, it refers to the global object. And in a browser window, the global object is the object window. For example, when you use the window method, which is one of the global objects, in JavaScript. So you can see here that this keyword itself refers to the function. It does not just return the name, it returns the whole object. What we have here, if I do something like let me do person dot first name, let's see what will happen. Now you can see that it's returning first name, but because inside the function that we are returning we have this keyword, that is why it is not just returning the name and the entire object is returned. And that is because we are displaying an object as a string. Look at what we have here. So JavaScript simply converts it to objects. So in JavaScript, this keyword refers to the object that is calling the function. In this example here, since the function belongs to the person object, this refers to that object. If we want specific values, we must access them using properties. So if we want to uh, extract out certain specific values from what we have in this example, then we'll access them using their properties. Because this keyword is not going to give us that, or is going, the keyword by default is not going to give us that specific property unless we are explicit about it. Like I just showed us that if I change this to first.name, then it will give me the first name. This should give me, this is John. Now I can as well do this dot first name and should give me the same thing. Oh, this time you can see what is happening. This is giving me undefined. But if I do persons dot first name, then this gives me the correct thing, and that is because this is referring to the object itself. So in order to get the specific value, I need the object name. So that is why you can see this as undefined and the other one giving me the correct name. So let me revert back to what we have. So let me ask us this question. If we move this function here like this, if we move it outside, say we have something like this. Now we can see this my function. A label is not allowed here. Okay. Okay. A label. Okay, because I'm using it as a label. So if I move it outside, for example, and I have something like the other way around, function, my function. I think this error should go. Okay, good. So the rest quickly line has disappeared. So now, if we move this function outside the object like this, would this still refer to this person's object? No, it will change. It will no longer refer to this person's object, and that is because the function is no longer part of the object, but outside it. So this is how this keyword operates with objects in JavaScript. And now you understand clearly when next you see this being used in an instance of a code, you understand that this refers to the object itself because it's a part of the object, as you can see. And now if I return this back into the function, I use it as a label function. Then what you have before should show up. This is objects. Key takeaways. This refers to the calling objects. Number 2, it returns the entire object and not a single value.